Well, coming up Sunday, it is the big game, the Super Bowl. You can actually watch that on our sister station, Fox. But right now, we have a special guest from the sporting side of the Draper Media family, Kayla Santiago from the Delmarva Sports Network. And Kayla, it's not just that you know what's going on in sports and football and everything. You're a Philly gal.
Yes, through and through. I cannot wait. I was able to watch in the 2017-18 big game with my family, and I'm able to watch it with them again. So I just cannot wait. I hope that Broad Street has a lot of green after the game. So it's going to be a tough one, but it's crazy to think that they're back in this game. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's my favorite time of the year. I'm sad football will be over soon, though. I
always get sad, weirdly, like when you get to like the divisional round and you're just like, oh, this is about to end.
Right. Yeah. It's bittersweet. Yeah. It's bittersweet.
So, taking your fandom aside, walk us through a little bit what you think might actually happen in this game.
So it's really tough to bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he is really the next Tom Brady when you look at it. You don't want to give him the ball with 30 seconds left to go in the game because he could drive down and score the game-winning touchdown. I do want to say, though, the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the best team that they've brought to the Super Bowl, maybe since the 04-05 season. It's better than the team that they brought in 2017. In 2023, I do think Saquon Barkley makes a lot of the difference. He just won Offensive Player of the Year. So I think that's huge, but I do get, a little nervous on the Eagles side looking at it from a broad point of view because they put up so many points in the NFC Conference Championship. So I'm like, what did you save for the Super Bowl? But I think it's going to be close. I think if it comes down to the wire, the Chiefs are going to pull it out just because of Patrick Mahomes. I think if the Eagles win, they need to at least win by 10 points because you don't want to leave it up to the officials. You don't want to leave it up to Patrick Mahomes because that could definitely sway the Chiefs' way.
I have heard a lot of people talking similarly to that, saying that the Eagles may need to get a little cushion because if you're late in the game, it kind of takes Saquon out of it a little bit unless he's in a passing route situation. You're not going to be able to run the ball if that clock's running down.
Exactly, and that's what, you always forget, though, the Eagles have fantastic wide receivers, right? They got A.J. Brown, they have Devontae Smith, and those are two pieces that people tend to forget about because Saquon has been so good throughout this season. But at the same time, the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles is very, very good, but I do think Patrick Mahomes is even better than the Philadelphia Eagles defense. So if you give him the ball back with any time left on the clock, I don't even want to watch the TV. Right? I'm going to walk out of the room because I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think that the Eagles are going to need to have it on the last drive and actually be up in that moment and just limiting the turnovers as well. Because I think when you look back on that 2017-18 Super Bowl, you relied on you need to get a big play. That was what everybody was saying at the end. And then Brandon Graham does come up with the big play with the strip sack on Tom Brady. So I don't want to rely on that if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Speaking from more of an objective point of view, I think the Eagles need to be up in that situation and still driving to put more points on the board because you just can't leave it out to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs.
Kayla, we're going to come back with more about DSN itself here in a few minutes, so everybody stick with us. We're going to take a break. We're here to talk more sports. We've already covered the big game today, but we've got Kayla Santiago from the Delmarva Sports Network. And Kayla, you guys do a lot more than just one thing. So this weekend, you've got your own big game coming up tomorrow.
That we do. The game was moved out to 11 a.m. due to weather, so we will be making the travels up to Baltimore at Under Armour Stadium. It is the first ever NCAA game that has been played at this refurbished stadium, so we're looking forward to it. Salisbury University men's lacrosse, they're been noticed on a national level consistently throughout Division III men's lacrosse. So we will be having that live on the Delmarva Sports Network at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That's Saturday. And then people on the go can also watch on DSN Plus streaming. It's going to be a fun one. I mean, I feel bad for the athletes because it's going to be a little cold out there. They're expecting a little bit of a wintry mix. I'm no weather person, but that's what I'm hearing right now. So, and our cameramen are going to be out there. They do a great job too. So we're excited to take the trip. It's a beautiful stadium. We did a site survey today, actually, and we're looking forward to kind of being out there, just having that big stadium feel.
And Kayla, this is 3 years for DSN. That's a major milestone. What does that mean, and how has things changed over the time that you've been at DSN?
Yeah, it's crazy that it's already been 3 years. I've kind of been here since the beginning, being able to see this launch before we were even really the Delmarva Sports Network. We were still doing sports kind of just from the newscast, which we still do, but that was really all that we had at that moment. And it's grown just so much. I remember our first broadcast, we were on the air for, I kid you not, about 40 minutes, just kind of going back and forth, figuring out, okay, Can we go to break? We can't go to break, because when we started, it was, let's stick to these break schedules because this is new. We're trying to figure it out. So we're just going back and forth for 40 minutes before the game starts, because sometimes varsity games start later. If a JV games goes over, it was a whole ton of craziness. But we've grown so much. I mean, when you look at it, we really just started with about 45 high schools, about 50 now, and that's still our bread and butter. I mean, we love the local community. We love broadcasting these high schools, whether it's a live game feature, whether it's, you know, just a story, or putting them in our show as highlights. But in addition to that, we've also got a partnership with the Delmarva Shorebirds, and that's been a really awesome opportunity for us to be able to broadcast professional baseball in the spring/summer as well. You know, we have the Salisbury Stakes too.
My favorite name in sports.
They're so fun. I love covering them. They're so fun. You know, we're able to cover the Baltimore Ravens, the Baltimore Orioles. In addition to that too, we just added the DSM Plus streams, just something that, you know, we've been talking about. We didn't know how we would do it, but that was actually just implemented kind of over the summer, and then, you know, was pushed throughout the fall. So it's grown so much since I've been here. It's crazy. And my staff is absolutely amazing. They are such great people, for one, but also just really hard workers, and they go out there and they know what we all want to do and what level we expect to kind of perform at for our local community. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a crazy ride, but it's fun to be a part of something that was a vision, and we're actually making that vision come to life even further than we might have thought.
Yeah, the staff is great. I've covered the Berlin bathtub races with you guys.
That's always a fun one. I can't believe I forgot that one. We love that.
And that is one of the more unique sporting events that Delmarva has to offer, and it's always a good time when we get to team up with you guys at DSN and really watch you guys serve the community, and the response that you've gotten from the community too, because it's been a great one over the last 3 years.
It has. I always love, you know, when people come up and say that we love it, and it's always so fun to watch, because that's really who we do it for. You know, obviously we're professionals in this business, and, you know, we have our goals and what we want to do with DSN in general, but we're really doing it for our audience, the people that are watching, the people that tune in, that say, wow, my kid's on TV. And it's really cool because, like, I've been here since the beginning of DSN, but now I'm seeing the freshmen that were freshmen when I was here, and now our seniors that are going on to college, and, you know, some college coaches were watching DSN to be able to pull some footage for them to see, you know, where they would end up at the next level. So it's really cool just to see the growth of community too, and talk to the parents that when I got here and I was 21 years old, now I'm going to be 25 in June, and it's cool to see that the parents really just stick with it throughout and really appreciative of it as well.
That's awesome.
Let us pull back the curtain a little bit on what you do though, Kayla, because you do a million things. You're the sports director.
She wears all the hats.
But specifically going into this weekend, you're going to be on the call for the game.
Yes.
How do you prepare for play-by-play? Because it is a different beast than some of the other parts of being involved in sports.
Well, it's an animal, and I didn't realize it until I was prepping on Monday that both teams have about 55 players on their roster. So I'm looking at my spotting charts. So essentially, all of our play-by-play broadcasters, we make spotting charts for every single sport. So right now, I'm kind of still in basketball mode, right? It's the winter season. So you're looking at maybe 15 people deep on each team, and then I pull on my spotting chart and I look at the rosters and I say, wow, there's about 55 people here. So it's going to take a lot longer. So I really start prepping on Monday. I try to just lay out all the rosters in my spotting charts. Then I also have coaches call with both coaches, and they have been fantastic. Just giving me storylines and stuff that you don't find online. Maybe, you know, if anybody's gone through adversity or a good story that they want to be talked about, what they're looking forward to, kind of kicking off their season. SCU has only played one game before this too. So you do all the coaches calls, then you go in, you fill the stats, you fill the storylines and things like that. It takes, I would say, for at least lacrosse starting off, it probably takes 5 to 6 hours of your time just for the spotting chart, and that's not on top of everything else we do on a daily basis. And then, you know, you're looking and you're talking to your producer, your director, to go pregame, who's our player to watch, who's our player to look out for, you know, storylines throughout the game that you and your color analyst can talk about. You're working with your production team, making sure that everything is kind of ready to go, what you want to see, what you want to hear, things like that. And calling the game's actually the easy part. When you show up and you're all prepared and, you know, you have all that information, that's the hard part that goes behind the scenes. And it's funny because some people don't know about it, so it was always fun to explain, saying, no, we don't just show up to a game and call what we see, you know. Obviously, some things happen during the game that maybe we weren't prepared for, like if it was overtime or something like that, and extra time. But yeah, it's a big prep process. So that's on top of kind of just, you know, obviously overseeing our department and everything like that. But we have a good amount of play-by-play broadcasters as well that, you know, we call games every single day. So
that's awesome.
Well, Kayla, calling the game's only the easy part when you do that kind of prep ahead of time. That's why you guys are the best around that are doing it, especially at all the local levels. We appreciate you coming in today. Great job on the 3rd anniversary.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Woo, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I'm excited to see how we grow. Just, from year 2 to year 3, we added the DSN Plus stream. So I'm excited to see how we grow kind of going into that year 4 as well. So thank you guys for having me.
Well, you're very welcome anytime. And we're going to take a break. Stay with us. More Coast Life coming up after this.